Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we cover a new character every week. This week, we are going to be doing Winter Soldier, Operative, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Steven.
Brandon
Hello,
forgets
everyone.
how to do
We
a
are
podcast.
Yeah, I was trying not to laugh at Fred almost messing up 3 times in the intro. So
Oh man, I'm so rusty, and I've only not done it for 1 week. We're, I don't know. Well, we are all back. We took a week off, and we're all here, fresh-faced and ready to talk about Marvel Crisis Protocol. I know that Brad has quite a bit of news, and it is nice to hear from Brandon again.
oh, thanks.
So how are all of you doing? How are you doing today, Steven?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm just I've recommitted myself to my miniature hobby because I've been slacking a little bit. So I've gotten on my schedule where I'm painting 45 minutes a day at least for 5 days out of the week. So
Nice.
and claw is very fun to paint. So
Oh, really? What makes him fun to paint?
it's you don't realize how good the model is until you get different layers of colors on it, and then you're just like, oh, this is getting this is getting really deep. So
Nice.
it's kind of like Rhino, where he has a lot of shading, but it's like, wow, this is you can lose yourself in it if you want, but I'm not going to do that. So
All right. Well, that sounds nice. It sounds very calming.
and Taskmaster and Doc Ock Scientist Supreme are the next ones up to get some paint. So
All right. In that order?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Do you have a system? Because one of those models I would play a lot more frequently than the other.
Well, my system is that well, I did get the core box, but I had a couple of boxes remaining around. So I had the Claw and Baco box and Taskmaster Punisher. I've already painted Punisher, so I have to finish up Taskmaster. That's one of my rules. I'll start on Claw, get him done, and Baco will come in, and then I'm going to the core box. So I'm starting with the character I want to play the most, which is Doc Ock, and then I'll pull another model from the core box to replace him, and just keep going on the cycle. So
Awesome. All right. Well, that's good to hear. How are you doing, Brandon?
I am doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's been a couple weeks since we've spoken with you. Well, I mean, I've spoken with you much more recently, but since the podcasting listeners have heard from you.
Since the world knows, I did find my MCP stuff, which is positive news.
Yes, very very good news. That was a real bummer when that got disappeared.
It was not a good time.
Yeah. I'm not gonna have you go through all the characters that that you missed, but I do want to hear your take on Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist. So, I'm giving you some homework. Over the course of this, before the end of the podcast, I want to hear your letter grade on the new Doc Ock.
Okay. I
Okay.
can do that.
All right. And Brad, how are you doing today?
Feeling my age.
Feeling your age?
Yes. I hung some things. I hung some things from the ceiling on Friday night, and my left arm hurt for a day and a half.
Oh no. Yeah, welcome to whatever your age is, because I'm not going to say it.
Old AF.
Older than you.
Older than me by a matter of months, but yes, older than me.
Not the oldest one here.
No.
not by a long shot, probably.
Well, it's real good to hear from all of you. Let's move on to our MCP news. in which I don't think we have anything official from the folks at MCP, but I do know that Brad went to Second Wind.
How about we do a tournament roundup first? Like,
okay, let's do a tournament roundup first.
So,
all right.
Charleston is having a tournament on November 18th, and it's going to be an affiliation battle. Fabricators Forge in Pittsburgh is having a tournament the 25th, and last I saw they were trying to decide what that event's going to be. Steven, do you happen to know?
No, I don't. I haven't taken a look. I apologize.
I don't. Bryce hasn't posted anything yet, so that decision might not be made. I voted for affiliation battle, so
that's I don't. Now, when you say affiliation battle, what do you? I mean, there's some affiliations that can't be played. Right?
You would just be at a disadvantage.
Yeah. You just wouldn't have 10 characters. And you can take rogue agents in those. That's fine. So if you want to play Winter
I'm
Guard,
looking forward to it.
Winter Guard with a rogue agent, you go right ahead.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I fully intend to attend this one.
I'm going to have more people at this event than I've had at a regular tournament in a while. People are coming out of the woodwork.
Well, that's good to hear. I plan to be there. I hope that more folks plan to be there, and we'll have a good time. All right.
Now, wait. I do have a question.
Okay.
So, Brad, what if you come with a Defenders roster, right? But you happen to have like 6 or 7 Midnight Suns?
You have to play
Midnight
Defenders.
Suns? Okay. All right. I'm just
you have to declare your
totally
roster.
Clear.
Yeah. You have to declare your roster. You can't switch midstream.
Hey, I asked that exact question.
I wonder why. Okay, Fred, you can move on to the next thing, unless someone else has a tournament that they know about.
Oh, I don't know of any, but I do know that you attended one.
I did.
You attended Second Wind.
I did. I was there, and Michael was there too.
Yeah. I want to hear how you did. I want to hear your what happened.
First, I'm going to tell you how Michael did. He drank every beer on the menu. That's how he did.
It sounds like he had a good time.
Yeah, he did. That was his goal for the weekend, was to drink every beer on the menu. Before we get into my games, we're going to play a little game like we used to do. We're going to play Guess the Stats on longshanks.org.
Yeah, oh, no.
So, I have some trivia questions for you guys. See if you can figure this out. What was the most played affiliation?
Ooh, played?
It is both the most played in games and the most played in players. So, no trick question there.
Okay. My guess is going to be X-Men.
Okay. Brandon?
I'm going to guess Web Warriors.
Okay. Steven?
Oh, I'll go with a dark horse. I'm going to say X-Force.
Okay. So, X-Force is definitely not it. There were 4 players, and they were cutthroat about who was going to get top in faction. It was very fun to watch. Web Warriors and X-Men were both tied at number 2. They had the exact same number of players, 6, and the exact same number of games, 32.
But neither one of them are number 1?
Neither one of those is number 1. Number 1
is it okay?
You want to guess again, Fred?
If it's allowed.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Defenders because everyone wants to play with the new toys.
No. No.
Okay.
Avengers.
Oh,
9
the boring
players.
answer.
Yeah,
The-
9 players,
The
49
old
games.
standby.
There was one other Brotherhood player. That's relevant to me. There were 3 total Hydra players, which is what Michael was playing. There were 2 affiliations that nobody played. Let's see. Each of you guess one. Let's start with Steven this
Sentinels.
time.
Sentinels.
Okay.
It's got to be Sentinels.
Fred.
Winter Guard.
Okay. Brandon.
The Dark Dimension.
Brandon's the only one that's correct. Let's give Steven and Fred another shot. Fred,
Oh,
you
boy.
go first this time.
Oh boy.
Someone finished in like the top 5 with Winter Guard, didn't they?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
He
don't
was
remember.
fourth place. Fourth place.
Okay.
I'm going to say. Go ahead, Fred. That's fine.
Oh no, I cut you off. You go ahead.
Weapon X.
And I'm gonna guess Wakanda.
Wakanda's the other one. Good job, Fred.
You're kidding.
That one was
No
a
one played
surprise.
Wakanda. No one was
Yeah.
playing M'Baku.
No, it was a surprise to me and Michael.
Huh.
All right, let's go to list data. Now, there were only 56 of the 62 people who put their lists in right as coded MCT lists. So this is based solely on that because I did not go in and look at the other 6 lists. Who is the most played character? Brandon, you're first.
I think it's a
wait,
probably
sorry.
a.
Let's go with top 3. If you get top 3, you're good. Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, then I'm slam dunking. I'll go with Beta Ray Bill.
Okay. Fred.
Well, so my normal answer to this question would have been Winter Soldier, but I think that's no longer the case. So I'm gonna say 2-point Black Widow.
Okay, and Steven.
Black Cat.
Okay, once again, only Brandon was correct. Beta Ray Bill
I went
was...
for. I went for. I did go first and take the easiest
Yeah.
possible answer.
Yeah, that was number 1. 19 lists. Number 3 will surprise you guys. Would you like to go another round of guessing, or do you just want to know what they are?
We can do another round of guesses.
Okay, Steven gets to go first this time.
Oh, geez. Now you're putting it on me. I'll pass.
Fred.
Okay. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 2-point Bullseye.
As if there's another one. Steven.
I'll go with
Toad.
I'll go with Toad then.
Toad. All right, and Brandon, I'm gonna give you another shot. See if you can get another one of these top 3.
Is it? Do we get a hint? What are their point values?
We didn't get hints.
No,
I don't
no
know. I know,
hints.
but yeah, you didn't ask. You didn't ask for a hint. Just because I'm the
hints.
only one that asked for one.
I already gave you that
I'll go with
number.
Hulk.
Okay. Hulk was tied at 4th with Black Cat and Pyro. Number 2 was Crimson Dynamo.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. And number 3 was Wong.
Oh, okay. I knew it would be one of the support 2s.
Yeah.
One of the
it's
2s
Wong.
that does work.
New Wong is fantastic.
That's crazy.
I'm just glad the rest of the world understands.
That is crazy. Also, Crimson Dynamo. That's pretty interesting.
Well, anyone playing E's probably plays him. He's great on an E shape. All right, tactics cards. We'll do top 3 again. And Fred, you can go first this time.
Patch up.
Okay. Steven.
Sacrifice.
And Brandon.
I'll take the slam dunk and brace for impact.
Brace for impact number 1. Sacrifice not in the top 3, but just barely. Patch up a little bit lower down the list than that.
Oh, beans, really?
Yeah. Only 19 players for patch up, 27 for sacrifice, 46 for brace for impact. Remember, this is a 62
Oh, wow.
player game. 46 players played brace for impact. I was not one of them and regretted it.
Yeah, I feel like brace is probably always one of the, if not the highest played tactics card.
Yeah, I'm just used to not playing against throws as much. And boy, are people who are good at this game playing throws.
What? Throws are good?
Yeah. So number 2 was fallback, and number 3 was eyes on the prize.
Oh,
And
wow.
by 2 and 3, I mean they both had 30. So
Well, that's interesting.
okay, let's go crisis cards, and we're gonna divide this up into extract and secure. The number 1 played crisis card was an extract. Let's go to the guesses. Steven.
What's this again, please?
Extract.
I didn't quite hear it. Extracts?
Yeah, extract. It's the number 1 played crisis overall. It's an extract. Can you guess it?
Slam dunk it, you know it.
Senators.
Okay. Fred
Hammers.
and Brandon.
It's got to be hammers.
It is hammers.
Oh, okay.
38 players. Scrolls was number 2 with 28. And then the number 3 overall was the most played secure. Fred, do you have a guess?
Most played secure? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I'm going to say Demons Downtown.
Okay. Steven.
I will agree with Fred.
Okay. Brandon.
I'm gonna go with scoundrels.
Brandon is correct. It is Scoundrels.
Scoundrels?
Yeah. Superpower
Is everyone
Scoundrels.
playing Criminal Sin?
I don't.
It's
Huh.
also it's a 20 points and 5. I mean, I feel like
Yeah. And then after that was Gamma Wave, Riot Spark, Research Station, Infinity Formula, then finally Demons.
Wow, it's real far down there.
Yeah.
I guess there are lots of lists that definitely don't want to play demons.
Right. Like spiders.
Yeah.
Infinity Gems. What gem do you guys think was taken the most? This should be easy. Let's start with Steven.
Reality.
And Brandon.
oh, is it the reality or the space stone?
Make a guess.
He said reality. I'll go with space. He said reality.
Okay, and Fred?
Get some
So
variety
I
in here.
can't do either one of them.
No, you
just
can
pick a
guess.
different
Okay.
one.
All right. Well, I'm gonna guess Power Stone.
At least you guessed one that was taken, Fred.
Yeah.
By one player. Reality was taken by 2. And space was taken by 4.
Okay.
Power and what's the other one? That's not mind.
Time.
Power and time were not taken at all.
Wait, Power wasn't? Didn't you say
I mean, not
one
power.
person took Power?
Soul.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I meant soul. I always think of that as the power gem because you get power
Right.
from them doing stuff, but I mean soul. That was our
Yeah.
little game. I think Brandon won.
I think Brandon won pretty wholehearted, pretty easily.
I mean, I took some slam dunks. I didn't really do anything productive there.
All right, so let's get on to playing the games. So I took Brotherhood. I took the same list from the LVO qualifier, trying to play Hulk and Juggernaut every game, and Magneto as often as possible as my leader. And my first game was against Isaac Kim from Toronto, and he was playing Hellfire Club. We had 17 Threat, Spider Infected Gamma Wave, and my basic philosophy going into this tournament was I'm going to ask a big question, and if they have the tools to answer that question, I probably lose. And if they don't, I probably win. And that's kind of how the game shook out. Isaac had the tools. So I played Magneto, Juggernaut, and Hulk at 17. He played Emma, Bill, Pyro, Luke, Cage, and Black Cat, which was pretty good against my list. This game was a knife's edge, though. It could have gone either way multiple times. For example, I failed to kill KO Bill at the top of round 2 by 1 health. He survived on 1. And with Emma healing, he was in there the rest of the game.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
so
no.
like if I had killed Bill, I probably won this game. And there were several times that happened. He would like it may be in my favor and he fails to do something, and then later on like I fail to do something and pushes it into his favor. We talked about this game a couple times over the weekend and how close it was. He was a good player. He ended up going 4-2 and getting 11th place. So I feel good about my performance in this game despite it being a loss.
Okay.
Yeah. Round 2 was against Simon Jerry, also known as Vodka Blitz. People may have heard of him because he came up with a bunch of really good X-Men tech. So I was very interested to see him play. We played. Oh, how many points is this? It wasn't recorded on. We played 20 points. I think that works out. Spider
Okay.
Infected and Mare Fisk. My game with Isaac ended up 17-15. So it was a pretty close game. This game wasn't
Real
as
close.
close against Vodka Blitz. He handled Hulk very, very well, and and Magneto even better. So, I played Magneto. Oh wait, sorry, this one wasn't 20 points. This was 17. I looked at the wrong round for a list. I played Magneto, Juggernaut, Hulk. He played Cyclops, Beast, Pyro, Domino, Logan. Between Cyclops, Beast, and Logan, he kept pushing Magneto further and further away from the fight. And Magneto does not want to move. So that's bad. Mostly Logan did that because Logan can throw him with the charge. And Vodka Blitz ended up going 4-2 and got 14th place. And I know he's like a super good X-Men player. So this ended up 19-12. Pretty happy with my performance. I was completely outmatched though. So I probably would have done better had I been playing X-Men. Something I'm more familiar with. But
Yeah.
It's not what I played. Round 3, I
Okay.
played against this guy named Dean Vukovic. With a V. Vukovic, I think is how you'd pronounce his last name. We had been talking in between rounds, me and him, because he remembers playing against me at the first round of the very last Bourbon Trail Open that happened in Guild Ball.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's like, "You beat me real bad." I'm like, I kind of remember that game. And then we got matched together. He was playing Avengers. We played 20 Threat, Gamma Wave, and Scrolls Infiltrate. He played Original Steve, Sam, Cable, Iron Man, Bucky, and Wong. I played Magneto, Juggernaut, Hulk, and Pyro. This is a game where he did
Which
not.
Bucky?
Original Bucky.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a game where he did not have the tools to deal with what I had. And so it ended up 17-5 in my favor. It was fun to play him.
Ooh.
He did daze my Hulk with a Helios laser before the end of the game.
Do you mean KO your Hulk?
No, he dazes, and he doesn't KO until the end of the round during the cleanup phase.
Okay, Mr.
So he never
Mr.
actually
Technicality.
KO'd. He never actually KO'd because the game was over.
Okay, Mr. Technicality.
But it was. How did that happen? Okay. A fun game. It was fun to watch him roll. I think it was 34 dice for his Helios.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Is that the most you've ever seen?
That's the most I personally have ever seen. Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard of someone rolling that many dice. That's wild.
The last game for day 1 was against Ryan Sturms. He was playing Midnight Suns, and I've got a lot of practice against Midnight Suns, not with Brotherhood, but just in general. We played 19 Threat on Mutant Extremists and Demons Downtown. So I played Magneto, Juggernaut, Hulk, and Toad. He played Blade, Dr. Voodoo, Hela, and Immortal Hulk.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought Hela was interesting.
Hella. Yeah, it is very interesting.
Unfortunately, on turn 1, he did her superpower where she moves towards a character and then rolls dice to see if she damages them. And then I dazed her, and then top of turn 2, I killed her.
Oh, so she didn't do anything.
She didn't get to do anything this game, and she had an extract, so
that's unfortunate.
She just delivered me the extract. Hulk and Immortal Hulk had about a fisticuffs. Hulk came out on top.
How did it turn out?
Hulk came out on top.
Okay.
I KO'd his Immortal Hulk.
Oh wow.
It was off the table.
I have done that fight with my Immortal Hulk versus someone else's Hulk, and it went in my favor. And I think it all comes down to dice.
Yeah. I played Grievous Wounds on. I activated Hulk first after I had dazed Immortal Hulk, and I played Grievous Wounds on my attack into him, and just killed him with the attack.
Yep.
So Grievous Wounds didn't.
Oh, so like you didn't even need the.
I didn't
you didn't
need
even
the
need Grievous
Wounds. I just dazed him. I mean, KO'd him at that point. This game ended up 17-8 in my favor. Once he didn't have a.
Too bad he went in unsupported.
What?
Too bad he went in unsupported.
It was Demons Downtown. Everybody was in the middle.
I understand, but he didn't support it correctly, is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, he was throwing Hulk into Juggernaut, and that sucked. That was good plays. Okay, so that was the end of day one. Michael and I went out and we found the Italian restaurant we went to the first time that we went up there, and it was pretty good. On Friday night when we got there, we got barbecue at this really good barbecue place called Smoke. And we get it every year. We go. It's so good. And then day two. So
And day two.
Round 5. Played against Cody Duncan, who's playing Web Warriors. 19 threat, Spider Infected, which is good for him, and Demons Downtown. He was not happy to see that. Yeah. 19 threat, I don't know if I said that or not. But he played Miles, Gwen, Spider Woman, Black Cat, Wong, and Daredevil. Daredevil, all-star of his team. So good. I played Magneto, Juggernaut, Hulk, Toad. Early in the game, Toad got a spider infected and then sat on my home demon portal. And he sent Daredevil and eventually Miles across the board to deal with that, which was the right thing to do. If he had not done that and stayed on his side of the board, I would have swept through this game. But because he did that, game was very, very close. It came down to if Miles had been 1 inch closer on the flank, the game would have went another turn and he maybe could have won. As it ended up, he was 1 inch short from getting to a demon. I won 18-17. It was very, very close.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Very, very close. Fun game. I have a lot of respect for Spider-Woman after the 2 tournaments I went to recently because I cannot kill her. Juggernaut can't kill her. Magneto can't kill her. Hulk can't kill her. Nobody can kill her.
Emma Frost can kill her.
Emma Frost can kill her, yeah. I didn't have an Emma
Psylocke can
Frost.
kill her.
Well, she's in my list,
Yeah.
but
So you did have an Emma Frost.
I did, but not. It's hard to fit in Emma Frost if you're playing Magneto, Juggernaut, and Hulk.
Yeah, it's hard to fit anything in after those 3.
Yes. So last game, I played against Johnny Pastrami, who was one of the X-Force players trying to get best X-Force. And I know Johnny's a good player already. And we ended up at 18 threat, Mutant Extremists, and Spider Portals. So this is a game I obviously can't play Magneto on. It's a D shape. And Mystique has good tech for Mutant Extremists. That's the Senators. So I played Mystique, Hulk, Juggernaut, and Emma Frost. Because he had Logan and X-23 in his 10. So I figure Emma Frost was going to be able to pick on somebody. He had Storm, Logan, Colossus, Spider-Woman, and X-23. He was ahead the whole time. There are a couple times that if things had gone a little bit better for me, I could have turned it around, but they just didn't. So I ended up losing this game 20-15. One of the big things, like Logan ended up super dead. And Hulk did it, but Hulk was so far out of position with a Senator that he couldn't really affect the rest of the game. and that contributed to me losing. I also couldn't kill Spider Woman again because Emma was on the wrong side of the board.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna ask whether this game turned out the same.
Colossus, really good. He's really good now. I played him on Thursday night because of this game. He's really good. So Johnny ended up going 4-2 and got 21st. I ended up getting 3-3 and 29th, which is not a bad showing. As tough as this tournament was, I'll take a 3-3.
Yeah, it sounds like you didn't ever get like blown out either.
No.
You were double digits in all of your games that you lost.
Yeah, and they were against people who did very well and are very good players. So I feel pretty good about my performance.
Well, that's good.
That's it. That's the whole tournament.
Okay,
Oh,
so you were committed to playing Hulk and Juggernaut every game.
Yes.
How would you do that again?
Yes.
Okay. Like it was a really strong combination. It worked.
So Hulk is like super good. Just super
Yeah,
good.
and the sky is blue. The sky is also blue.
And then Juggernaut, he's like the weak link of the three. But he easily has 2 power even after picking up an extract turn 1 to Asteroid M Magneto into the middle of the game on turn 1 to make 2 attacks and a throw.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's integral to the game plan, even if
yes.
he's the weak link.
And then both of those, especially on Senators, is really good with Mystique because with her leadership, they can take an opposing Senator and back up in a
Mm-hmm.
scenario where you're not supposed to be able to move after you pick up the extract. So
Okay.
yeah,
It seems like a pretty strong little group. It is Beefy Boys Deluxe, but it also has a lot of like tactics that you can play around with. A lot of Okay.
a lot of movement.
Well, it
Too.
sounds like you had a lot of fun.
I did. I had a ton of fun. And Fred, next year you should go.
I know. I should. We
Mike,
will see. We will
Mike,
see.
Michael and I talked about that several times, and I would encourage Brandon and Steven to also go. But I know Fred.
oh noes.
What?
I said, oh noes.
I know that I can always eventually talk Fred into remembering that he has fun when he travels for tournaments.
That is true. Every time I do it, I'm like, oh, wow, I should do this more often. But then every time I don't do it, I'm like, oh, I have all this stuff to do. In theory, hopefully, things are going to change in my professional life, and I'm going to have more bandwidth to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. Everyone should go. Just make sure you sign up early because it fills up fast.
All right. Well, you may not have this information in front of you, but do you know who won? So we can give him a congratulations.
I do know who won. It was Zach Cohen from Texas. So
Well, Zach Cohen, congratulations for winning Second Wind.
he's one of the guys that regularly plays online with the Alfredo's guys that ran the tournament.
Okay.
So
what was his affiliations?
he was
Guardians.
Guardians, yeah, with Beta Ray Bill.
Ah, there it is.
And Cosmic Ghost Rider, and he had a Hulk. So.
Guardians are really happy right now.
Number 2 was Curtis Osborne playing Hellfire, and 3 was Conan Jennings with Inhumans. Just to round that out.
Conan's from Ohio, also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And Inhumans, so Brad hates that.
I do hate that. Noted very good player Alex Spots of games in general. Also went 3-3, finished 6 places ahead of me, so I feel good about that. There are a
Oh,
lot of 3-3s that I know are excellent players. So
yeah, that's just a sign of how good the competition is
yeah,
there.
yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like fun. Uh, I will try to attend next year.
Fred's going.
And moving on, unless anyone has anything else to say, do you want to move on to games that folks have played recently? All right, let's move on.
Okay.
So, has anyone played any games recently that they want to discuss?
I think Brandon did.
Well, not.
I've played 2 games with the new Daredevil, and he's very, very good. And
Y-
I think new defenders are going to be in a really good spot.
Okay. What do you think is the new Daredevil? Like, sum him up. Sum up what your takeaway is for what he
I
does.
mean, they have that affiliation has some of the best models in the entire game, and so a couple key things that changed that are drastic is Wong got a lot better, just adding the extra defense. Dice has survivability. Punisher being affiliated means you don't have to worry about anything like that, and he does really, really good job. And then you always have an in affiliation Ghost Rider or Hulk that you can play, and or Immortal Hulk. So the games I've been playing, it's basically depending on the point level, it's been Daredevil and then either Ghost Rider, Hulk, or Immortal Hulk with 2 3s and a Wong.
Okay.
So at like 17, 18, 19, Daredevil, Wong, 2 3s, and then at 17 Ghost Rider, 18 Hulk, 19 Immortal Hulk.
Oh,
Uh, at
nice.
at 20, usually just swap Wong for a 3, and then you play 3 3s, Ghost Rider, good Immortal Hulk, and then or you can kind of adjust accordingly, depending. You play Hulk and someone else. Anyway, the Daredevil's also miles better. He is very very hard to kill, and getting free attacks on both sides are very very good. Especially on his damage side, he can just pay and have 3 attacks, in one turn. He actually has a spender that's worthwhile now, and having a being able to situationally place yourself to have multiple rerolls. I don't think I ever used the leadership without having at least 2 rerolls. Um, and 2 rerolls on one attack can really just kind of change, especially when you're playing characters that hit really hard, like Ghost Rider, Hulk, Immortal Hulk, Iron Fist, Punisher. The thing I think people have forgot about Punisher, where no one played him for so long, is his spender at 3 power is absolutely insane. It's range 5, 7 dice, with a pierce on it and gives stun and slow.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh,
I really like Punisher, and the only reason that he was not getting a lot more table time was because he was unaffiliated with anything. And now that he's Defenders, he will see lots of play.
yeah, I think you definitely play him in Defender's List. I've enjoyed it so far playing it. The hardest thing is your tactics cards. Like Defenders don't really have the best tactics cards. So you're kind of playing. You, like for me, I play Patch Up, Brace, and Heroes for Hire, and that's pretty much the 3 I'm playing every game. And then I normally, if I play Ghost Rider, I play Deal with the Devil. If I play Immortal Hulk, I play his card. I have Gamma Launch in my list. I don't know if it's gonna stay. I have Blood Red and Personal with Punisher. which when I played Brad, we had a round that if I would have had the power to be able to do it, I think I would have got 3 victory points in one turn.
Oh wow.
I didn't have the power to do it, so it wasn't super relevant because it does cost 4.
Yeah.
Because I was
And
just
it costs 4, and Punisher likes to use power.
yeah, I mean he flipped and had, 7 power and he aim shotted and then picked up a hammer and then aim shot again. So like that is what it is. Like that attack's incredibly good. And then if you can get, I think at the end he had 2 hammers on him. I mean it wasn't relevant, but at one point I think he had 2 hammers and being able to rapid fire at 6 dice, auto rapid fire, it's really good.
Ooh.
So,
Wow.
so he's really good. The scenario was actually terrible for what I was trying to do. And I was teaching someone to play the game, but I had played a game prior to that against Web Warriors, and even though I was like, it was kind of a teaching game, it was just you can really feel it. Just feels a lot different. Like Daredevil just feels really, really good. Um, you don't feel like your roster's really constricted by because you want to play one of those 5, 6, or 7s, and having a leader that doesn't cost 5 anymore is really, really beneficial.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna start playing Daredevil. He's
And
too
Wong
good
doesn't
now.
just die anymore. He actually rolls 3 physical defense, so he doesn't just straight up die.
I mean, that's an improvement.
Yeah, that was the so it definitely feels really good. I think it's just tweaking it out. Like I said, the worst thing is it's just the tactics cards, I think.
Yeah. Not having access to. I feel like the defenders didn't really get a lot of help recently until just now.
Yeah, I mean they got Blade, Daredevil, Wong all got an errata as far as the actual card. Nothing really changed on.
Wolverine is a
Yeah, and
defender.
Wolverine, yeah. Yeah, Wolverine will probably make my list. I've actually probably gonna switch out Blade for Wolverine. Um, Even though I really like the option to play Midnight Suns. Um,
Have you thought about Elektra?
no, I haven't.
Okay. Well, it's just that
I sold my Electra, so I don't have her anymore.
Oh, okay, okay.
So,
Well,
yeah, I would
she.
like to clarify. I do think she is much better and is actually much better than she was. I'm not super sure how playable she is, but I definitely think she's worth playing, or at least like seeing. Because I didn't realize how much better. I knew Daredevil was better. I didn't realize it was like this much better. So I think Electra could also be a lot better than I think. Um, but I don't. I sold mine, so I do not own Electra at the moment. So,
Get her back.
but I do believe she is miles better than she was before. But yeah, there's only in my like for what I have, like there's only room for 2 4s. Daredevil's one of them. I have Blade right now just for that option for Midnight Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly for Siege of Darkness because that card's bonkers. But I don't know what scenario I would play. I think I would probably rather just have Wolverines to be able to play um, Bees a little bit better, where I can just do like 2 4s and then like 2 3s and a 2 and kind of like separate sides a little bit better. Because new Wolverine's also really, really good. So
Well, there's one character I think might be a sleeper in Defenders, and um, I'm going to try it out. But I was wondering what your thoughts would be with Ancient One with Daredevil.
there's probably more playability than there was. I really like all the Mystic attacks. Um,
Well, the reason I say it is because most of her attack, she has one attack at range 3 and 2 attacks at range 2, and
yeah.
that spender she has is devastating because it
Yeah,
gives
and
up
adding blanks
automatics.
is adding blanks helps a lot. My biggest fear is always going to be her physical defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the
But
scare.
but you're not always playing 2 4s at the same time, right? So
I don't play Doctor Strange in my list, so
Well, it's just a suggestion because
yeah.
Ancient
I
One is
think I
just
do think she fits in better if you have that flex. I don't think it's bad. I worry about the 2 physical defense. Because I think that's the 4 physical defense on Daredevil, counting blanks. It makes him super hard to deal with.
Mhm.
And I think that's the 2 defense is just scary for me in Ancient. That's always been my fear with Ancient One because I like everything about her card except for that.
well. I mean,
Uh,
I'm just saying it's an option I'm going to try at some point in time because that a 5 dice Pierce with rerolls that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I really like it. I'm just always worried that someone's just gonna throw a fucking Hulk at me and then she's just dead and then I gotta be sad
Yeah,
about it.
things happen.
Yeah. I think she's definitely. I think it's fine. I think the character like that's the only thing that bothers me about that character is the 2 physical defense.
Mm-hmm.
I just
It,
hate that.
it's valid. I'm not saying it's not, but
That's the
so,
one thing about Venom when you stare at that card like, oh my god, it's so good, and then you're just like, and then you see a Cable and you're like, I'm not good anymore.
Right.
Go away. I don't want to do this anymore. Guys, I messed up.
well, you have the same thing with Wolverine when he goes against a Mystic. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that was so in the game I played, Wolverine was playing I put Moon Knight on the side with Wolverine, which would have ended up really well if he didn't get topped and bottomed back to back. So having the Mystic attack would have been very beneficial in that scenario. However, it never came to fruition. A lot more physical attacks than Mystic attacks, but 2 defenses regardless of what stat it's at. It just feels bad. I do actually think that's why I kept Blade over Wolverine, but I mean, who doesn't like Wolverine as a character? So
But Blade has the chance to reroll his defense on physicals and Mystics, so that's obviously good. So
yeah, yeah, Blade's really good. So
okay,
Or-
I guess we could have done that in conversation, like just Brandon and I just talking on the phone to each other. But sorry, folks.
No, I mean there's valuable information that came out.
it
So,
does feel a lot better. It looks like even in a short amount of time since the adjustment, there's been a lot of people play defenders on Longshanks that I looked at. It looked like it had a pretty good win percentage so far. So I think you'll definitely see a lot more of it. The roster is entirely too good for it to have been as bad as it was for so long. So
yeah. Oh, definitely. I agree. All they needed was a leader that cost less than 5.
yeah,
and he turned out to be very good.
he is very very. That is it's really funny because at one point the Daredevil Bullseye was like the worst box you could buy and is fastly became one of the best boxes like in the game.
Oh yeah. It really did a 180. Okay. Do either Steven or Brad have any games that they want to talk about?
I was also in one of
No,
those games.
Right. I had gathered.
Oh, I just have one
uh,
takeaway. Kitty Pryde, even if she only makes 2 attacks the entire game, is still really, really good, and I love her.
Okay.
She was good. There's no debating that.
Well, are
Everybody
y'all
else
ready?
died though, so
Yeah.
pay to
Well,
flips are dumb.
are you guys ready to go over the character that we are here to discuss?
Nope.
Okay, well, too bad, because today we're going to talk about Winter Soldier, comma Operative, who otherwise is known as James Bucky Barnes. His defenses are 4 physical, 3 energy, and 4 mystic. He has 6 stamina on his front side and 5 stamina on his back side. He is 4 threat, size 2, and he moves medium. Uh, yeah, I got called out last episode by Brad. So, Brandon, do you want to talk about his attack suite?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
His first attack is Spec Ops Rifle. It's range 5, 5 dice, costs no energy. After the attack is resolved, the character gains power equal to the damage dealt. For a wild trigger, it has suppressive before damage is dealt. Each wild in the attack roll. For each wild in the attack roll, the target character loses 1 power. He has a concussion grenade as his second attack. It's an energy attack. It is range 3, 5 dice, it costs 1 power. And then if this attack deals damage after it is resolved, the target character gains the stun special condition. For a wild trigger, it has blinding flash. After the attack is resolved, the target character and enemy characters within 2 of it gain the shock special condition. And then for his final attack, he has a physical attack. It's the Red Agent. It's range 3, 7 dice for 3 power. It has a wild hit trigger for clean sweep. After this attack is resolved, deal 1 damage to each other enemy character within 3 of this character.
All right. Okay. Steven, do you want to cover these first 2 superpowers?
Sure. His first superpower is Hit and Run. It will cost you 2. It is an active superpower. It costs an action also. This character immediately makes an attack action followed by a move action. This superpower can be used only once per turn. And then he has a reactive superpower called Killbox. It will cost him 3 power. When an enemy character ends an advance or is placed within 4 of this character may use the superpower. Choose an interactive terrain feature of size 3 or less and within 2 of the enemy character that was advanced or placed. Destroy that terrain feature. The enemy character suffers a collision as if the terrain feature had collided with it. This superpower can be used only once per turn.
All right. And Brad, why don't you finish off the card?
Yes, Besnos training. This character may reroll 1 die when either attacking or being attacked by a character that is within range 1. And stealth, you have to be within range 3 to attack him.
Okay. All right. So, what is everyone's first takeaway here? What's your first takeaway looking at this guy, Brandon?
I really like the Killbox superpower. I really like that superpower. Not so much just his. I like that it doesn't cost an action, but I really like that superpower on Punisher and Mystique. Like the being able to just destroy it and kind of dealing free damage. This one doesn't. It's a little bit different. I think this is probably a little bit more of a fair way to have it than just dealing straight up damage. But I like it. Otherwise, for a 4th threat, his attacks are pretty consistent from what they've been putting out. He's got really good defenses. He loses the health on his backside. But nothing super special about this character. The art's super sweet.
The art is super sweet. It is very good art. Well, I have to say, I like that he has. I don't want to call him area of effect, but he does have area of effect, and it only affects enemies. It's not exactly an AOE. It's like both his concussion grenade and the red agent both hit enemies within a certain range of the target, or of him, I guess, within range 3 of this character. And it only affects enemies. There are a lot of characters where it would affect both friends and enemies. This makes him easier to manage, easier to not mess up on the field.
He does give out good conditions.
He does. I like that concussion grenade. Just if it does damage, they gain stun. That's real good. Brad, what is your takeaway here looking at this guy?
He's pretty cool. He's pretty good 4-pointer. Wish his name wasn't James Bucky Barnes. That's less of a problem now.
Right, that because they kind of nerfed his other version.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
definitely more likely to get played now than he was before, because he's got cool stuff like Killbox on Punisher. Is it in action too?
Yeah, him and Mystique have the same thing.
Yeah, his Killbox is very similar to Green Goblin's Trick or Treat. because it doesn't cost an action, it just costs power.
Right. I gotta. The one thing about this card that I really like is he has a range 5 attack, and he has stealth, which is a one heck of a good combination to have.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. When you combine that with hit and run, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
Well, the hit and run's really good, especially on the range 3. So even if they come into your range, if like they end within it, you can hit them twice and you can hit it with like your spin if you have a ton of power. Say you've been flipped, now you can use your red agent and then hit and run like use that with hit and run and then get away and then spec ops rifle.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think that this character is gonna be a real menace. Especially, I think that we need to talk about a tactics card that came with him, and that is the tactics card Soldat Activated, which is an unaffiliated tactics card. It is reactive, but how it works is after you choose a leadership ability, if that leadership is Cabal, Criminal Syndicate, or Hydra, an allied James Bucky Barnes with the Spetsnaz training superpower may play this card. Then James Bucky Barnes gains Compelled Minion passive superpower, and how that works. Oh boy, this is very wordy the way that they. I feel like they could have just put this on here, but the way that it works is when an allied character with an active leadership within range 2 of this character is targeted by an attack, the allied character gains cover. After the attack is resolved, if the allied character was not dazed or KO'd, this character may spend 2 power. If it does, it may immediately make an attack with a power cost of 0 targeting the attacking character. Additionally, when this character begins an activation within range 2 of an allied character with an active leadership ability, this character gains 1 power and may remove 1 damage. So sticking him close to someone with a leadership ability will make him much more survivable and give him the ability to shoot back whenever the person is attacked.
well, it has to be the active leader.
Right. Whenever the active leader is attacked.
This is much better
I think
on original Bucky.
yeah, because he has both this and oh gosh, what's it called? The one where if the person gets KO'd, he can shoot back at them.
Yeah. And he has
Yeah.
rapid fire on his free attack.
Right.
So
that is true.
He gets more benefit from it.
Not to say that this doesn't benefit this one. I
Yeah.
think it does a lot. I think this is a very good card. And I think that he would like to bring it if he is in those affiliations. If he's playing in Cabal, Criminal Syndicate, or Hydra, he's going to probably be playing with this card. I really like. I gotta say, I think that in the core box that just this is one of the new guys in the core box. I think that of the 4 threat models that are the quote unquote the bad guy faction, I think this may be my favorite one. Aside from Doc Ock. That's not true. I take it back. Doc Ock's my favorite. I misspoke. But he's certainly my favorite who's not Doc Ock.
he's going to be running with Doc Ock, is what you're saying.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, because Doc Ock, if I'm playing Doc Ock, I'm playing Spider Foes. And if I'm playing Spider Foes, I've got better options at 4 points than Winter Soldier, Operative. I'm not sure.
I've broke Fred's brain.
Yeah, now I'm thinking.
I think you were correct in your assessment that you have better 4 threats.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely do if
Yeah,
I'm playing Spider
you have
Foes.
Lizard at least is better. A better 4-pointer.
Wow.
What? I know that you're trolling me. I know that you're trolling me.
He's breaking your brain again, Fred.
Yes. I'm here trying to look for the trap because everyone who's listening should know that Lizard is a 3-threat model.
Oh, he's
Are
only
you
three
sure?
threat? Jeez.
Yes.
Did you not know that?
Yeah, I know that, Fred, but
Oh,
he's so good he should be 4 points. Is the joke.
I mean, you're correct. I agree. He is
No.
very good for a 3-threat.
And for 1 point
I don't
more
think
for one more point than this Winter Soldier, you can get Venom.
Stop it. You're not just confusing me, you're confusing all the people who are listening.
the fact of the matter is you get to play Doc Ock, and then you have Venom and Rhino both affiliated at 4 points. Unaffiliated 4s would be a hard splash.
Right, exactly.
I'm
You're
here to
already
protect
12
you,
deep
Fred.
in fully affiliated models.
Doesn't mean that if you don't want to play those that you can't play this model. This model will suffice as a solid pick.
Yeah.
I like where the game's getting because we're getting to a point where the models are much more compressed in their actual playability, which means you can play the majority of your models affiliated, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, more affiliated options that are playable
You can
that can
also
definitely be fielded.
it's also easier to splash your favorite character and it not
Yes.
feel bad.
Yes. I really think the only affiliation that I've even looked at building a list for and then I've had trouble with affiliated models is Criminal Syndicate, and that's literally just because the way I play them is stupid and I shouldn't do it, but I'm doing it anyway.
Well, the way you play them is the most effective way that they can be played.
It is efficient, but it's really they just don't have good 3-threat affiliated models, and that's just the theory that I stick to, and I
Except
can't
for
get
Black
over it.
Cat.
It's Black Cat, and then your second best is Hood,
Mm-hmm.
and then your
Yeah.
third best is arguably the new Crossbones. We're not in a good scenario on 3-threat models.
You're right.
I would argue Taskmaster is better than Crossbones.
I would agree with that. With you saying that I guess Taskmaster is affiliated with Criminal Syndicate
Yeah,
because he's a rogue agent.
No, he's
No, he's
full up
criminals.
affiliate.
No, he's Criminal Syndicate rogue agent.
Okay. Okay.
I've never had good luck with Taskmaster. I do really want to try the new Crossbones because he fits in what I want to do when I play them. But I always liked Taskmaster, and he just got changed too, right? Didn't things
Yeah.
change on?
That shield throw gets the power now.
Yep. He got better.
Yeah, these are all positives. I would definitely be willing to play him or try him out.
All right. Well,
'Cause doesn't he have martial
we need to
artists?
give. Oh, sorry.
He's just.
I
Go ahead.
Okay.
I was.
Well, what I was gonna say is, are there any other tactics cards that are associated with Winter Soldier Soldat or Winter Soldier Operative? Sorry, I don't think that there are. I think that the only one is the Soldat activated. So
Isn't one of the him and Captain America cards a James Buchanan Barnes card?
No, it's Winter Soldier.
Is that Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
other
we need to
one.
give this guy a letter grade, and uh, I think that I'm pretty up on him. I think he's good. I think he's very functional. He would be a very effective 4-point threat on the board that would be very annoying to deal with because he can touch you at range 5 and then stealth and hit and run make him really hard to track down. So I'm gonna give him a B plus. I think that that's where I'm gonna stay with this guy. Brad, what do you think you are going to give this guy on a letter grade scale?
I think 3-point Winter Soldier is still more likely to be splashed, but this guy's great in all his affiliations. B.
Okay. How about you, Brandon? What are you gonna give him?
I love the fact that he is he has 5 affiliations. I think that's very helpful. Again, like I said earlier, I like that they've compressed. I think he's just as good as all the 4s that have been coming out. If you want to play him, you're going to be able to, and you have 5 affiliations to do that in. I think it's getting harder and harder to splash models. I'm going to go B minus.
B minus. Okay. I think that we should say what those 5 affiliations are. It's Cabal, Hydra, Criminal Syndicate,
Nope.
Avengers, and is it Shield?
It is Avengers, Cabal, Hydra, Shield, and Winter Guard.
Winter Guard. Oh, that's right. Oh,
If
okay.
he was Criminal Syndicate, I wouldn't consider him. Not even going to front. I've got too
Okay.
many 4s. I got to stop looking at all the 4s.
So he is not Criminal Syndicate, and I thought he was because that's one of the affiliations that can activate him with Soldat activated. That's interesting.
Yeah, but
They just paid for his services.
they bought his loyalty from his
Yeah, that's what it
fanboys.
is. All right. Okay, and Steven, what are you going to give this guy on a letter grade?
I think I'm at a B for him, honestly.
Okay.
He's got a good kit.
That's an average of a B minus.
Wow.
What did Fred give him?
I gave him a B plus.
Okay.
We're all over the B's, but we're all pretty close together. We all
So
think
back
that
to
he's
back
a
to
B
normal.
character.
Me and Fred are the furthest apart.
Yeah. Well, I told you that I was going to call on you earlier in the pod, Brandon, but I would like to know what your take on Doc Ock is, the new Doc Ock.
I like him. I really wish he was 3 points.
I mean, don't we all?
Yeah, I mean, he'd be kind of busted at 3 points, but I think he is the best leader in Spider Foes.
I agree.
I really like
wholeheartedly
his
agree.
leadership. I really like everything he does. He can throw characters. He can throw characters with range, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
A beam 4 is really good. Doesn't have the best spender, but it's still really good.
It's
I
not
don't think-
bad.
I don't think you really need it. I think you're going to be using the throw probably more than anything.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, the other 2 attacks are really good. Being able to get beam 4 and giving Incinerate's really, really good. Yeah, I like everything about it. I think it definitely makes Spider Foes. Spider Foes were in that defender situation. Is the worst thing about the affiliation is that you were forced to play a leader
Green
that wasn't ideal. And
Yeah.
as a second leader, he feels much better. Same thing with like Doctor Strange is like he feels much better as a second leader than he ever did as like a primary leader. I think Green Goblin will be the same. I think he'll pretty much replace it. We've gotten more Spider Foes coming. I think Spider Foes are in a great place. I would give this character a B plus.
Okay. I think I was in the A's, but I was not crazy high in the A's. So I think that I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, Spider Foes have a really good. They have a really good growing roster.
Yeah, they do.
So I think the worst thing about this character for Spider Foes is the fact that you no longer can play your best in affiliation 3-threat model, or second best because Lizard's the best.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what were you talking about?
But not being able to have Doc Ock, the original, as a 3-threat leaves you with what Craven, Lizard, and Mysterio is the only 3 threats in affiliation.
But I'm pretty sure this box coming out is going to fill those holes.
I agree full-heartedly. It's just like at this like very moment, that's like this only situationally negative thing about it. Is that you now can't play Doc Ock. Can you play the tactics card still?
No, you can't. That says specifically Dr. Octopus instead of Doc Ock Sinister Scientist. So no, you can't play the well-laid plans is the one you mean, correct?
Yeah.
He got a different one that works almost the opposite. That is also a good card, but it's not like crazy good like well-laid plans was.
Yeah. Like I said, I think they're doing a really good job on everything they're putting out. I would like to give them a little clap because I feel like the characters that have came out over the last 6 months to a year have been very well. Since Malekith, I think they've been very well properly placed. As far as like I feel like they've all been right around the same power level.
Yeah.
So I like it a lot. And like I said, at this very moment, if they're in a Spider Foes are probably still in a weird spot, but they've got a lot of models coming next month or the month after.
It's
No, it's after the first of the year.
Oh god, so next year. All right, that's fine. Whenever they come out, they'll be in a lot better spot. The weirdest spot they're in now is they are still really 4 heavy, and they have one really
Yeah.
good 3 and then 2
I
okay
expect
3s.
that box to put Sam in at a 5, Electro and Vulture at 3s, and maybe a Shocker at a 2.
I mean, at this point, everything that comes out's a 4, so I just wouldn't be
True.
surprised if all 4 of
not
them are
Kitty
4s.
Pryde.
So
Not Kitty Pryde.
that's
She's a
true.
3.
Kitty
But
Pryde is too good to be 3.
And then what? We got 2 3s in the core box.
Yeah.
yeah, 2
Yes.
3s.
Only 2.
Yeah. So,
So
a lot of
no.
models have came out. We haven't got a batch of 3s in a while. So maybe that'll be the fix. What's coming out
Oh,
next? What's the next thing that comes out?
the Warrior Falls, the King T'Challa and Killmonger Usurper.
And
It's
then
I imagine
the
it,
X-Men stuff.
I imagine it's going to be like a like this going forward, because we usually get those, because we got the Logan Sabretooth around Christmas time, right? Obviously a big push.
We've got X-Men at around the Christmas time every year, haven't we?
Yeah, but they're not coming till January.
Are we getting a holiday release at all? Or are they just the
They
core
have
sets kind of like the
they have not announced anything else for
interesting?
November, December.
But Logan Sabretooth Apex Predator came out like December 10th. So I imagine that box will be around the same time.
The Killmonger
My
and him.
yeah. My guess is December 8th. And then on January 10th, we got the Rhino last year. So that seems to be their cycle. They take a month off. Like they'll do the one big splash, and then they'll put something out.
I mean, I guess putting out the core set before Christmas is if you want that to sell, you don't put out anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Of
But I could see them doing the core set in like that big box, which is like fantastic, right? In its design and stuff like that. So
yeah, except for it's so expensive.
I know, but that's what they want to do, right? It's marketing. That's all it is to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
and there's nothing wrong with it. It's definitely what they need to. I've got no flaws in it. It saves me money. I'm not upset at it at all.
but
It's just the one time I have money to spend on like miniature stuff. They're not giving me anything to spend the money on.
right. Fred, by the way, Doc Ock, new one, Scientist Supreme, really good with Ghost Rider and List.
Okay. What is it that makes that the case?
Well, if anybody's getting attacked, they're getting power, and Ghost Rider's getting power on top of that, right?
That's true. That's true.
So
I see what you're saying.
yeah. And then if you fail to damage Ghost Rider, he gets more power. So
Plus, Ghost Rider is a well-known Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
To be fair, Spider-Man might be one of the few people that aren't as drastically affected by like the penance there.
true. Well, Ghost
Yeah.
Rider might just be hiding amongst them to find out who he's going to look at next. Literally. Anyway.
All right. Well, let's move on. Brad, do you have any comic books that feature, I guess, Bucky Barnes or Winter Soldat?
Yes, I do. So Bucky Barnes is a very old character from like the 40s, but they kill him off real quick and then they brought him back as a Winter Soldier uh, pretty recently. It was post 2000. So he spent like over 60 years dead. So his appearances are going to be fairly recent appearances. So the first one I have is a single issue called Winter Soldier Winter Kills. It's by Ed Brubaker and Lee Weeks. And Bucky confronts his past as he raids a Hydra base to save the Young Avengers. If you don't know who the Young Avengers are, this would be a good starting point to get to know them because they are inevitably going to be added to the game at some point. They're very popular characters.
Okay. I do not know who they are. You got me.
Well, Young Kang is on the team. That's a spoiler
Okay.
for some comics, but they're like kind of kid versions of some of the Avengers. So there's a kid named Patriot, Iron Lad. There's well, there's Hawkeye. Um, you guys may know her from the Hawkeye TV series that was all about her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's some other ones. There's like an alien shapeshifter. There's a Wiccan named Wiccan.
There's a
Okay.
Wiccan named Wiccan.
There's a speedster, kind of like a Quicksilver
Quicksilver. Yeah.
type person. Gosh, I can't even remember his code name. Anyway, they're very popular characters, so we'll see them.
Okay.
And then the second recommendation is Winter Soldier's solo series from 2012, 1 through 5. It's by Ed Brubaker and Butch Guice. And this is a Bucky and Black Widow team up. There's a bunch of like Russian sleeper agents that are activating and trying to start a war. And they are all people that Bucky personally trained. So him and Black Widow are going around and trying to stop them before war breaks out.
Okay. Do those two work together a lot, given their both of their personal pasts?
They do have very similar backgrounds. And
I mean, it's like the same background.
yeah, I mean, basically. Well, I don't think Black Widow was brainwashed, but
Yeah, they're details that are different,
yeah,
but still.
it's very similar. Yeah, I mean, it's Cap knows both of them, friends with both, and there's a lot of crossover there between them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those sound good. Is that the end of your comic
Yeah,
book
and of
recommendations?
course they're good, Fred. You think I'd get on here and recommend bad comic books?
Of course
Wow.
not. Of course not.
Okay.
That's why that's why we have this section. And Brandon, I'm gonna throw it over to you. Do you have an affiliation where you think that Winter Soldier, Operative would really shine? That's outside of his 5.
Being outside of that 5 is a tough call since there's
Yeah, I
not a
know, 'cause
lot, not
that's
a
a lot
lot
of
left.
affiliations.
Yeah, I think it's hard because I think the best places he fits are in affiliation. I do like playing him, I guess, like with Shadowland Daredevil Criminal Syndicate. Because of I
Ooh,
do like the tactics card. So I think that's kind of where I would go outside of affiliation, even though
yeah.
it's kind of bolstered by getting a tactics card.
Okay. Which tactics card do you mean? Do you mean the one where it gives him 3 additional attack dice?
No.
I forget what
The
it's called.
Tactics card.
Yeah, Bucknick's card.
Oh wait, Bucky's. Oh, okay. Well, the one I just mentioned, oh boy, I forget what it's called,
Also really good.
is very good with him.
Do they have to
Yeah,
be
especially
affiliated for that one?
Oh, that's a good question. They may need to be affiliated.
I think they do. I think most of those that came out in that pack had to be affiliated.
Yeah.
Most of the Criminal Syndicate cards only affect Criminal Syndicates.
Yeah.
What about Brandon? What about
Oh.
him with MODOK?
That's probably I like him with everyone that's not Kingpin in Criminal Syndicate probably. I don't
Even Claw?
I don't really know what Claw does. I don't really consider him a thing.
No,
The
but
card that I was mentioning is called Cruel Tutelage, and it does have to be a criminal syndicate character.
I thought so.
Uh, he could not do that.
but do you know which card does not have to be Criminal Syndicate?
Which card?
Is Cruelty.
Yes, you're right. Cruelty does not have to be
And he's a range 5
affiliated.
attack, and Cruelty is a range 5 attack.
So he could trigger it with his gun and then zap him with his brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I like the MODOK because I like the getting the extra. You're looking for wild triggers anyway, so being able to get if you get a wild, you can get those extra attack or defense is definitely going to be beneficial. MODOK Science Supreme is really good still, so I kind of wanted to go a little off. Give Shadowland Daredevil some love, but
Well, I'm just thinking if you're
I
playing
think
both those leaders, he would be a good
yeah, he fits in.
splash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he definitely fits in really good. I don't even know what Claw's leadership does. I always forget he's a
it
thing.
Nothing.
it's claw focused. It only does stuff for him.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah, no, yes, yeah. Never mind. There's no reason I didn't buy that box.
Well, the only thing that's left to do today is for me to give a non sequitur recommendation, and mine for I believe that this is our last episode in October. So I'm going to do The Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix. This is a prestige television that it what it does is it tells the story of a rich family as they fall apart, and it does it using well-known Edgar Allan Poe stories, and it kind of tells those stories through the lens of this family, and it is incredibly well written. It contains amazing performances, especially by the I don't want to say who it is because it's a bit of a spoiler, but there is a woman who plays a prominent role throughout the entire series who is an incredible actress, and she really carries this show forward. And I highly recommend that everyone go watch it. It is a great show. That is The Fall of the House of Usher, currently streaming on Netflix. And that's it for me. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? I'll take
Nothing.
your silence as a resounding no. All right, well, everyone, thanks for listening, and go out there and play some games with Winter Soldat, Operative, and have fun out there.